horror fans, once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G, and I welcome you to Shark Week. Yes, horror fans, as I continue my Jaws series for Shark Week, we are now on to Jaws 3D. Yes. Now, Jaws 3, or Jaws 3D, was a 1983 American horror thriller film directed by Joe Alves. It starred Dennis Quaid, Bess Armstrong, Leah Thompson, and Louis Gossett Jr. Yes, remember him? It is the second sequel to Steven Spielberg's Jaws and the third installment of the Jaws franchise. The film follows the Brody children from their previous film at an aquatic park in Florida with underground tunnels and lagoons. As the park prepares to open for an opening, a young great white shark infiltrates the park from the sea, seemingly attacking and killing the park employees. However, once the shark is captured, it becomes apparent that a second, much larger shark has also entered the park was the real culprit. Yes, we all remember this one. It wasn't Baby Shark. It was Mama Shark. And Mama was pissed. Now, the decision was made to use 3D during the revived interest of the technology during the 80s, mainly because other horror films such as Friday the 13th Part 3, Amityville 3D decided to use it, and most of those two movies were successful in the box office. Audience could wear disposable cardboard polarized 3D glasses to create the illusion that elements penetrated the screen. We all remember those cardboard 3D glasses from the day. Several shots and sequences were designed to utilize the effect, such as the shark destruction. We'll talk about that later. Since 3D was ineffective for home viewing until the advent of 3D televisions in the late 2000s, the alternative title Jaws 3 was used for television broadcast and home media, and unfortunately that conversion was terrible. Although it was a commercial success, Jaws 3D received largely negative reviews. And unfortunately we have the fourth film, which I'll review later, Jaws Revenge, came in 1987. Now, for some reason, obviously they could not get Roy Scheider to return as Brody. I think after the craziness he went through in Jaws 2, he was not going to come back for a third film. So they basically concentrated on the eldest son, that was played by Dennis Quaid, Mike Brody. He and his co-partner, Catherine Morgan, were the zoologists, marine biologist people at the SeaWorld Park. And all of a sudden we see that some shark is attacking the people in and around the park. Eventually they discovered that that's not the shark that was killing them. It turned out to be a baby shark, and lo and behold, it's Mama Shark. And she was not happy that her baby has died, and she goes on a rampage killing anything that she can get her teeth on. Now, if you guys want to hear something funny, because none of the original actors from the first two Jaws films were returned for the third, Roy Scheider, who obviously played Chief Martin Brody for the first two films, laughed at the thought about Jaws 3, saying, Metaphysics couldn't talk me into doing it. Ain't no better than to even ask. To make sure they would not even think to get him, he agreed to do the film Blue Thunder to ensure his unavailability for Jaws 3D. Dennis Quaid was eventually cast as Mike Brody. Now, I don't know what they were thinking when they decided to make this into 3D, but like I said before, because of the popularity of 3D back in the day, and I think mainly due to the success of Friday the 13th, Part 3 was in 3D, and that was successful. That's the reason why they decided to go on ahead and do this film in 3D. Unfortunately, back then, 3D technology wasn't that good back then, and it is now. And hence, that's the reason why when you play it at home, it just looks so phony and, ooh, God, it just wasn't that good. I mean, especially that scene where the shark crashes in through the observation window of the underwater lab. It just looks phony. It looks fake. It looks terrible. It's like you guys couldn't do a better job than that. It's just terrible, phony looking. Oh boy. And again, we have some logic gaps when it comes to shark behavior, or what do sharks really do when they attack people. There's this scene where one of the guys, I can't remember what was his purpose was, he decided to bait the shark so they can trap the mother shark, and unfortunately he gets trapped in the well where this type of a well he couldn't get out. So we see in one scene, he's trying to escape from the shark, but there's no room for the shark to go into. So I don't know. The next scene, he's in the shark's mouth. Now I don't know if the shark could lift his head up and bite him that way, or what, or he just literally just swam into the shark's mouth. I really don't know how that scene plays off at, but that's the next thing we see him. He's trying to swim out of the shark's mouth, and of course, the shark nearly starts munching on him, and we see the blood come out from his mouth. But it's like this. Wait a minute. We see one scene that we know that he's trapped in the, I can't remember what it's called. There's some type of a narrow, very narrow lane where they tried to trap the shark at. And for some reason, like I said, next thing you know, he's trying to get away from the shark. Next thing you know, he's in the shark's mouth. And I guess because they thought it would look nice as a 3D effect to see a guy in the shark's mouth. And of course, we see the end of the movie as the shark is now in the facility, and the guy still has this grenade stuck on his hand. And Dennis Quaid, Mike Brody takes some type of a thing to pull the pin, and then of course we see another shark explosion, and once again some terrible special effects. We see the shark's mouth explode, and we see the teeth all go everywhere. Horribly done, terrible effects. Again, trying to do it in 3D. Now, I actually saw this in the movies. I saw it in 3D, and I had those plastic elastics on in the world, and it really didn't do anything to enhance anything. It just looked funny because it wasn't done very well. And like I said, what are you going to do? You knew that this was coming to an end, because at this particular time we've already seen other shark movies or shark clones, thanks to Jaws and Jaws 2. And so when this came out, I really wasn't expecting much when this movie came out, and it just let my fears. It's like, this is it. We don't need another Jaws movie. This series needs to end. But unfortunately, since the movie did make $88 million on an $18 million budget, they figured Universal says we're going to milk as much as we can. Hence, that's why we got Jaws and Revenge a few years later. But if I were to grade this film, this only would get 1 out of my 5 bloody gold coins, because it's just, it's not bad. It's just, they should have ended the series after this one. So, my horror fans, what did you thought about Jaws 3? Did you actually see it in the movie theaters like I did and had to wear those ridiculous cardboard 3D glasses? Or did you have to wait and watch that terrible VCS tape? I'm sorry, but it's like this. Back during the day, any movies that came out on 3D. I mean, that's the reason why Friday the 13th and Amityville 3D on VHS looks so terrible, because of the transfer. It's just terrible. Terrible. It's like that's the whole problem. But if you did see it in the theaters, what you thought about it? Did you thought that after seeing Jaws 3D that it was time to end this series? Leave your comments down in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about Jaws 3D. So that's my review for today, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Also, all my social media links will be in the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules. I'll see you in my next video. I'm out.